I think if any game really emphasised how far we'd come under Jack Charlton, it was that game. Northern Ireland had qualified for 2 World Cups before Charlton arrived. We'd never qualified for any, and this game probably summed up how we'd progressed and how maybe they'd gone backwards.
The Swiss referee blows the whistle and the game is on, a most vital game.
Northern Ireland at that stage were not going to qualify for the World Cup finals, but they knew that they could dent our chances. The match in Windsor Park a year earlier had been a lot of tension on it, not in this to anyway the same degree as happened a few years later in 1993.
Yeah, there was a bit of a needle, all right. And there were the usual hard shows shouting for their cause.
Waiting at him, but Townsend has it. Townsend shot!
It was a crunch game at a very crucial time, I think, in that competition, qualifying competition for us. But I think we were very comfortable. You know, I think Northern Ireland probably thought that they could come up to Dublin and get something from us.
Dowie going up, but McGrath won it, and Irwin got it away.
There'd been a changing of the guard there, a subtle changing of the guard from the 1990 squad, where Roy Keane had emerged. Dennis Irwin had nailed down his place as well, and they became integral figures, and never more so than in that match.
It's Keane who's there, helping it on to Irwin.
We'd always produced some great fullbacks, and Dennis Irwin, when he was in form, was perhaps among the top 3 fullbacks we've ever had.
Well, I think it was great, the young lads that were coming in, like the likes of Roy and Dennis Irwin, of course, because they were bright new talents, and I think we needed a few really good players coming into the side.
When we played each other in the 70s, we couldn't get a win over them. Then in the 80s and the 1990 qualifiers, we finally got a win over them, so we had got a monkey off our back in that regard. But in 1993, I would say that we were probably as good as we had ever been under Jack Charlton, and if any game summed that up, it was the win over Northern Ireland in Lansdowne Road.
Irwin, Ray Houghton, Irwin again, that's Townsend, took up a good position, Quinn, Townsend, 1-0!
Andy Townsend's goal was probably one of the better one-touch movements of the Charlton era. People always associate the team with just direct football, but that goal probably showed the confidence in the team. There was some nice little bit of interplay. Townsend got in behind the defence and slipped the ball under the goalkeeper.
They linked up for the first goal. It was Townsend worked a 1-2 with Quinn. Didn't score too many goals, Andy, but he finished that one beautifully.
Brilliant build-up. Townsend took up such a good position and drilled it past right into the far corner.
I think Niall Quinn was probably at the peak of his powers. He had a very bad reputation in terms of people just on him as a big gangling player, but from 1990 onwards he started to really impose himself and was doing really well at Man City. And in 1993, Northern Ireland just couldn't deal with him. He was a massive threat, and the goal he scored was a nice finish from a cross.
McGrath, Staunton and Houghton looking for Quinn. 2-0! Splendidly executed. Houghton had a good look, picked him out and steered home to perfection.
Steve Staunton has a particularly vicious left foot, which he's used to score direct from free kicks, and he scored direct from corners 2 or 3 times for Ireland, which is quite a unique feat. And that was, I think, the first time he scored direct from corner. He really drilled it, and one of the Northern Ireland players ducked, and the ball ended up straight in the back of the net. And I don't think Tommy Wright, the Northern Ireland goalkeeper, was too happy.
Staunton with it. It's in! It's unbelievable! It's 3-0!
They just played such perfect football for that first half hour. They tore Northern Ireland to bits, and I reckon that the Spanish and Danish managers who were watching would have really been worried on that display. It seems strange that they didn't go on and rub it in more.
Here's Keane. Great save!
But that first half an hour showed that when we wanted to play football, that team really could.